let's get started. Let's get into it. See if I can remember just what is going on, what I was in the middle of. On this tiny map I have chosen for myself. Yes, update 4 is the same update as last time. That is not new. Alright, so this is almost fully done here. This is looking pretty good. We just now need to dam up the top and replace these dams with solid levees. And we'll actually have all of this blocked off. This is going to be so much water. Oh, that's very exciting. I'll have water for a while. We're not going to be continuing to mine from here, though. That's going to have to go. So I guess we're just going to be mining from up here. Which is probably fine. That's a decent chunk of metal. And there is an actual mine somewhere. Where is the actual... All the way over here? Is this the only one? Ooh. That might be the only one. Oh, all the way up here. That one's at least closer. So that's probably where I end up going. That is certainly closer. Yes. Okay, cool. Well, sounds good to me. In the meantime, we'll keep working on making some independent power that doesn't require water. That is my big goal, other than finishing off this waterworks. And there's going to be all this rubble that we just can't reach. We'll never be able to reach this rubble. It's so sad. That's fine. It's probably fine. It's just logs. Logs are easy. I have so many trees here. Just so many trees. We're gonna be just fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I don't know why you will think it wouldn't be fine. It'll be fine. It'll probably be fine. I have to figure out where I'm doing more farming. Once we have this up and running, am I gonna start farming up here? I might. I could. It's not impossible to think that this might be my new arable farmland. For whatever next thing I am making. I think we're in the middle of making, yeah, the garden for mushrooms. Cool. So we've got mushrooms being made, actually, just very slowly. And then mushrooms will be converted to fermented mushrooms over the course of a much quicker time period. Alright, that's good. Alright, well, keep at it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Oh. It's already coming. Yeah, alright, that checks out. Building lacks workers. The engine lacks workers? My power source! Why does the engine lack workers? No, I need all my builders, actually. What else can I afford to pause in order to get that engine running? Oh, it doesn't need an engine because it only needs it when it needs to be resupplied. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, everything's fine. Yeah, this can be down, and then we'll just... once this starts running low, we need to resupply it, and otherwise it's just going on its own. I remember how this works. I have memories now. $445, and this is supplying 400, so we'll be a little light on power. Alright, that's fine though. And then how is this going? This just needs logs. So we just need our boys in the district center to get this done. Boys and girls? Do I even have gender on these teefies? Do any of you have genders? I'm not convinced that any of these beavers have genders. This is global well-being. That's fine. That's all well and good. They're all vat-grown? They are, in fact, all vat-grown. That is a true statement. The breeding pods are very efficient. Far more efficient than all that organic sexual reproduction business. Just requires a little bit more management to get to work. Cool. Now this gets to be deleted and replaced with a levee. And then a dam on top of it. Right? That's the angle we're running here. That's where dams go. That is in fact where dams go. Guess that makes them all ace. You know, I don't actually know what they get up to in their spare time. They might very well be ace. Which, you know, is entirely their business. But yeah, I have very little information about that. Two beavers are injured. Cultivation is halted. Why? The crop will die soon. Oh, because nobody's working there. That's not okay. Because another beaver was injured. Alright, well, I guess you take a worker. From here, probably. Now I have to figure out something else to pause in order to keep everything supplied and moving. Water storage is pretty good. I could probably pause this. And then pause this and get it going here instead. Because these are the ones that need to be filled. These are all full up, which is great. What's up, Devinock? Yep, back at the beavers. Ah, the flooding has started. Fantastic. This should all flood here. Slowly but surely, we are getting more water in the reservoir. For some value of reservoir. Oh, Madavara. I do love the random nonsense they come up with. The voicing in this game is great. In fact, I have a hauling post, right? So this will get fed by haulers? Oh, fantastic. Wait, why is it off? Power output 0. Terrible news. Does it need to get restarted? I guess nobody's working right now, right? People are just doing their own thing. It's probably fair. I hope it restarts without a worker. Good morning, beavers. Oh yeah, okay. It is in fact going. It's just a matter of like after work time is over, it does not supply power. That's probably fair. Don't supply power to buildings that nobody is working at. That seems reasonable. Excellent, good progress here. The flooding here has started as expected. Love it. Should I work to get these filled in first? No, I'll fill in the far edges, and if I don't get full value out of this thing in this drought cycle, that's probably fine. Probably. We've got a lot to harvest here that's not being harvested. I need more teefies. I need more workers. How am I on logs? Light. Extremely light on logs. It's still coming in, but we don't have a lot of people doing the thing. One injured beaver. I built this, but I'm not doing anything with it. And this I'm not doing anything with until I have mushrooms. That's probably fair. We're fully loaded on scrap metal. Literally no more room to supply more scrap metal to things. So this could maybe pause? And then I can add a farmer? Instead of an engine worker? That sounds good. Probably. How am I on gears? Fully loaded on gears? No room to even store more gears? What is the next thing I want to build that needs gears? Now that I have an engine. And 1.8k science. I forgot my plan! What is my plan? I need the remainders of my plan. Did this fully build? They did it. I no longer remember my plan, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I'm no longer even convinced that I had a plan. Maybe that's where this all went wrong. If only I had a plan at the start. That might have helped things. Maybe now is the time to form a plan. Paper factory? For explosives? Is it time to explode? Was there something that used metal that I wanted? What was I doing? Healer seems like a reasonable choice, right? Makes potions out of dandelions? My little campsite looks like... Oh, it kind of does look like the Korean flag. Yeah, with the layout of the logs. I kind of agree. Gravity battery? That seems like a reasonable thing to have. A battery of some kind. To store power. For when I need more power. Probably want to get to the other side here and store and make the battery on this already large cliff instead of building my own unreasonably large cliff. Guess the battery could be up here instead. Seems like there is places to build batteries if I wanted a place to build a battery. Alright, that's probably fine. The efficient mine seems like a thing I'm going to need eventually. Oh, I need treated planks before we get that far. Okay, let's do resource shenanigans. Let's get treated planks, because that seems like a thing I am going to need. And that needs pine resin, so we need a tapper's shack, which I don't currently have either. So that can be a thing that we make. Alright, great, I did it. I am one step closer to a plan. This is still a lower priority than finishing out this goddamn dam. This dam. Hard to put those words together, isn't it? This dam of some kind, whether godly or otherwise. Could be storing more water. It's utterly ridiculous. There's no otters here. The amount of ridiculousness is not related to otters at all. It would be cool if there were otters. Maybe the third faction that they haven't released yet is going to be otters. And they'll have no work ethic. They'll just want to play all the time. That would be funny. We need more people here. So now what buildings lack workers? Is it just this one? There's only one vacancy, and it is the engine. Alright, I'm on board. The rooftop terrace finished. That's cool. Look at him go. This is great progress. Levee, followed by dam. And then we get to destroy the stairs, which is exciting. God is not here. God is what we make of it. This, I think this river isn't quite wide enough to call any dam I make on it a god dam. But, like, that seems like a decent appellation for a real feat of beaver engineering. It's time. Time to hope I have enough water. And now I have an unemployed beaver. A beaver who needs a job in a place that is currently not anything. Let's start making more wood. These are oaks? Yes. And the rubble piles grow ever larger. No storage space? I guess. That would certainly affect things. Alright, this finished. Fantastic news. Oh, they're recovering the pile. That's good. Good, do that. Continue to do that thing. Now the pile is only planks, and I don't have storage space for planks. I do have storage space for planks. It's just full. Alright, that's also fine. Like, if I contain the entire valley up to the river source. What if I just, like, fully dammed across, like, from here all the way across? Would that be a goddamn? And then the water would just have nowhere to go? Oh my god, this is a 19-day drought? Wow. I guess I finished this just in time. Oh, dangerous. Real dangerous. Hoard that water, absolutely. That sure is the plan. I think there was a plan to have part of this be a triple floodgate. But the problem with that is then I need to find a way to get around it, right? So I would need to build platforms here and here to get around it. So I guess we start on that also. Not dams or levees, but platforms, because I do want the water to flow through it. And much easier to do that as a triple platform. Far less plank usage. Sure, I'll spend the science on that. I think 30 is the upper limit on hard mode. That is my understanding. And then once water is flowing again, so in 18 days, we can fully delete this and build the new floodgate there that I want. Or I may end up needing to fully delete it and build a new floodgate there, as this area needs more water, which is a thing to consider. This needs to become supply. I want water from here moved to a more central location. So that'll give my hauling post workers something to do. Also have the floodgate in front or behind the dam so beavers have a straight path. I'm not too worried about the straight path. There's not a lot of reason for beavers to be walking over here anyway. There's really not much to do out in this area. Like, unless I'm gonna have them start farming these trees or something, which maybe, but, like, not a high priority. Tapper's Shack is ready. Pine resin is being acquired. Fantastic news. And I guess that means it's time to set up the next thing. How are we on power here? Still slightly low. Very slightly low. But also, many of these are not actively doing anything at the moment because I guess the cassavas are being fermented. That's for the best. Who's gathering these mangrove fruits? Oh, this gatherer flag is gathering mangrove fruits. Okay. That's fine. All of this fine so far. 2 days into this 19-day drought. Oh boy. Man, this map is small. I didn't think about it, but small map is small. Alright. What is my next step? What are we working on now? Is it still treated planks? I think it's still treated planks, which might need another engine. I am okay with producing another engine, for the record. Another engine isn't really a problem. That just means we blow through logs a little bit quicker, but that's also okay. But we are going to need this wood workshop at some point. It's not actually how I want to build it. I want to build it this way. Leave space here for question mark. Something 3x3, which I'm sure exists. And we'll build my next engine here. And it will, of course, need power. That way. That way. Alright, get to work, folks. Should I have a builder's hut? I might need a builder's hut, but like I am very rapidly approaching the point where I do not have enough enough beavers to fully build all the things I want to build. Fully staff all the buildings I want staffed. Accept versus obtain or supply. Should both of these be set to supply? Give my haulers more things to do? I think both of these should be set to supply. And then they'll supply all this stuff in the center. And that's good because that's more central. So other beavers won't have as far to walk. Good idea? I feel like it's a good idea. Center tanks need to be on obtain to get water from the larger tanks. That doesn't seem to be the case. Accept seems to also accept from buildings that are set to supply. That means that I'm not sure what the difference is between accept and obtain. The difference between supply and empty seems relatively obvious. But, yeah, not clear to me what the difference is between accept and obtain. How deep is this water? Some amount. Active or passive, but like... Maybe priority? Maybe priority. Priority could be it. I think we are going to need more water, though. I don't think this water is going to sustain us for 19 days. Considering I need 30 water a day. 30 more than 30, like 35 water a day. This is probably close, but I don't think it's going to be sufficient. Actually, we were at 600. We already burned through 200 water across 4 days of drought. So yes, definitely not enough. And we should be working on this one also. Somebody get in there. Two vacancies. One here and one at this engine. That's fine. Builders are not super busy right now. They're a little busy. They are doing things. Things are being done. But not like super busy, you know? Maybe obtain will also pull from things that are accept. So it's like... Supply is active, and maybe accept is passive, and then obtain will also pull from accepts? I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I can't actually think of... Given how accept seems to work, I can't think of any difference between accept and obtain. Unintuitive? Yeah, I agreed. I mean, I clearly cannot intuit the difference, so... What are we doing on food? Food's good. Could use some more mangroves. Right? Could use some more mangroves? How are people doing here? They're actually, like, totally fine. We're full up on all this stuff. Mushrooms is next. And mushrooms is in progress. More obfuscated than DF stockpile linking? Wow, them's fighting words. Not that I know a whole lot about DF in this case. Other than it is the poster child for unintuitive gameplay. I want the default angle to be a little bit shallower. I don't know if that's a thing I can do. It was before it had a GUI. I suppose. Yeah, I haven't tried the GUI version. Metal for engines. got a good number of logs, but the haulers are all very busy. Moving water around and other things. Four mangroves per tree. That's good that they made things easier. That seems like an appropriate choice to have made. 3 vacancies now. Not a lot of building happening. It has not quite dropped below 2nd dam height. And this is relatively untouched down here. So that's good. This looks like it'll last a while yet. I want the medicine. I would like beavers to not be sick. Construction lacks materials. Which materials are you lacking? Gears. Alright, well that's happening though. It's coming together. The problem is we're going to be lacking beavers. And I don't know that I want to go too heavily into more beavers, because that's going to cause supply problems. Like, I need to be able to feed and water all of my beavers. And, I don't know if I will have all of that for as long as I need it. Like, this drought, maybe. This drought's looking like it's probably going to be okay. But it's, like, kinda close. Build another one of these here. There's almost room. I think that's the case. I'll just have to deal with the longer timetables, rather than try and supply an adequate workforce and then end up killing my colony as a result. That feels like the inevitable outcome of even one more breeding vat feels like it'll be fatal. But breeding vats seem like they can sustainably produce 12 beavers. So if I wanted to go to 36 beavers instead of 24, I could build another breeding vat. And it would eventually equalize at 36 beavers. 33 of which would be working at any given time because of the way aging works. But that is also down to well-being, right? Like, if the well-being is high enough, then these breeding vats will supply more beavers. So maybe if I just work on well-being, that'll increase my workforce by a sustainable amount instead of an unsustainable amount. But then again, how much is sustainable? Maybe if I were better at this game, 36 beavers would be sustainable. Lots of questions here. Sustainable is whoever survives. Yeah, but like, that's down to having the resources to keep them alive. Which is like, do I have those resources? So A is, do I have those resources? B is, can I have those resources? Right? And that's a separate question. Keep them alive and happy. Campfire and rooftop terrace supplying decent chunks to people. Wet fur, not very common, unfortunately. We don't have many people crossing in the water. It would be very cool to dynamite out, like, a couple of spaces here and have water there, just for the sake of people crossing it for, to get wet fur. Instead of, like, showers or Lidos or something. God, showers are such a waste of water. It's a good thing my first game was on normal mode, where resources weren't real. Still almost died out in my first game. How are we doing over here? Still good, I think? This is looking still good. This is looking pretty good for the number of days into the drought we are. This is... like, we're about halfway through, I think, this water supply. Which is maybe dangerous? Maybe dangerous. You don't think showers actually consume water? Big if true. Who's controlling when, how that top supply drains? This top supply? Right now, it's completely sealed off. Like, this dam is high enough that it's not draining at all. Once this drought is over, and I'm not as worried about water flow, I'm gonna replace this here with a manually controllable height thing. What are they called? They have a name for them. Floodgates. I'm going to replace this thing with a floodgate, so I can control whether or not it's draining. But yeah, at the moment, nothing is happening to this except for the water pumps. And I have now turned those off because I am concerned it's not going to last 11 more days. Yo, Kushai, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. I hope you are enjoying this beaver-related gameplay. Oh, Kushali. I missed that it was an L. Okay. Hello, how's it going? Welcome. For the most part, things are going well here. This is my first real big drought. I think prior to this, I hadn't gotten past 11. And the jump from 11 to 19 feels pretty big. But, hopefully I have the resources to sustain it. We'll see. Hard mode? Yep. I still don't have all of the necessary information for hard mode. Like, there's still questions I have. But I am sure they will be answered via gameplay. And the kind of person who's okay with failing and then finding out. How are these projects coming? Slowly. Slowly, if at all. Gears are coming slowly, and planks are fine? I'm gonna call those fine. Oh, they actually did clean up the planks here. Great. But not the logs from these. Those are unachievable at this point. I have to figure out how to get those if I'm going to get those. I'm probably just going to not get those, is probably how this works. I think those logs are just going to be wasted. Rest in peace, logs. Failing and finding out will be your next dwarf fortress. Oh, yeah, I'm sure I will lose so many dwarf fortress colonies before I find anything that sticks and in any kind of sustainable way. I guess with my RimWorld experience, it probably won't be too bad, but I'm sure I'll get hit by things that work differently or that are unfamiliar and just, like, be suboptimal for quite some time. In fact, if I ever start playing Dwarf Fortress, my first fortress is going to be named Suboptimal. Think they can reach those logs, they just don't have anywhere to store them? That might be true, actually. This actually does look like they're reachable. So I guess they can pick them up from up here? That's kind of nice. Surprising. That's... Beavers have long arms, I guess. But yeah, they definitely don't have anywhere to put them. I just have the one small pile that I've been putting logs into. And those are right now only disappearing at a slow rate. Because it's right now all the logs are going into the mills, which is not a lot of log usage. Hey, we're making treated planks. Cool. What was I going to do with treated planks again? I don't remember. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not remember the plan. What was the plan? Did I have a plan? Oh, maybe it's science? I need a thing that makes science without beavers operating it? 'Cause, oh my god, that's a lot of power? Chaos? I don't think chaos was the plan, Cryptomancer. The Iron Thieves are very organized. Oh, we're going to need a lot more science if I want to build a number cruncher. Alright, I guess that means I have to make an inventor work. Which means this is not super important at the moment. Three buildings lack workers, huh? And I know exactly which ones. So where can I spare a worker? Again. You're not doing anything. We can go down to 3 here. We can even go down to 2 here. 1? Do I go down to 1 here? I don't think that's right. Not if I ever want to build anything again. But for now... Uh-oh. 2 beavers are injured? Yo, this is some BS. This is not okay. Alright, it's time to build a healer. We gotta start taking advantage of these dandelions. Spend that science. Where does the healer go? Healer needs logs, waters, and dandelion? Okay. Well, I guess you'll hang out near the logs. Two workers working on building this. Maybe prioritize this higher than the engine. Engine matters, but not super important at the moment. How are these mushrooms coming along? Yo, we finished a batch of mushrooms? Get in there. You can pause. I have metal. Yeah, mushrooms. People are gonna be happier. Well-being. Maybe if I get enough well-being, my beavers will be immortal. That would be super cool. I want immortal beavers. Do I want immortal beavers? I don't know that immortal beavers are sustainable. That might not be okay either. You're injured and unhappy. What about these mushrooms, though? Mushrooms are going to be +2. We'll get up to 12. Which will increase movement speed, but not life expectancy. I'll need another 5 well-being to get another hit of life expectancy. 17 is my life expectancy breakpoint. Until then... they'll just have to not live as long, I guess is the answer. I guess that means I need another medical bed. Could have the injured beavers sitting across from each other. They can hang out together. Go, haulers, go! I love these haulers, man. They're doing so much work. I want you to know I appreciate you, hauler beavers. Appreciate you and everything you do. And looking good on the fermented mushrooms. That feels really good. I'm going to need separate fermented mushroom storage, aren't I? To actually get through a full batch of mushrooms. Why is this still at 0? I ask you. What has prevented you from moving forward, Mr. Hydroponic Garden? Probably water. Still at like 400 something? That'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. No problems. Oh, this emptied out. Okay. Well, this pump is no longer doing anything, so I guess that's one less building that lacks workers. This is going to need some water. Yeah, okay. Granted. Maybe Segawa can go get her own water. Oh, look at that. 13. Delightful. Yeah! Chomping on them mushrooms. Extra movement speed. Heck yeah. Make potions for my poor injured beavers. One potion is apparently worth 8 hours of appropriate rest. How's this coming along? This is looking... This is starting to look a little light. Where are we here? I think if I delete this, nothing happens. I'm going to find out now. I was correct. I'm going to wait until this dries out before I delete the last levy. Which it's kind of getting there. It's pretty close at this point. That's not a lot of water level. I don't know if you're seeing this, but that is really minuscule amounts of water. Oh yeah, there it goes. Gone. Alright, here we go. Which means I should immediately build this triple floodgate. I don't know which direction this goes. Maybe it's not directed? I'm going to assume it goes horizontally with the top. Alright, this needs to be prioritized higher. And also, we should get some builders building it. Because I don't want to lose any water here. And this is looking like it's going to lose water. This was maybe ambitious. Like, I don't think this is going to be built in time to not lose water. Dangery. How do I get a fourth builder here? What do I have to... I can pause you. There we go. Oh, yeah. Water. We're already losing water. This is a bad idea. On the other hand, this will definitely sustain for the rest of the flood. The rest of the drought. So that's good. The question is, will this sustain for the rest of the drought? And that is an actual question. As in, I don't know the answer. But I think that means once this is built, which it's right about there. Cool. Now we can restart getting water out of this. That'll be helpful. You can go back down to where you were at. Let's say 2. 2 is a good number. Get the inventors working again. Alright, who lacks workers? You and the engine, right? That's good. That's fine. It's perfectly okay. And we still sustained some water up here. That's good. And then whenever I want, I can drop this to 0 and we'll get water coming out of there. Right? That's how that works. There doesn't seem to be much water to be obtained from up here. Is this totally emptied? This is basically totally emptied. Do I care if it totally empties? At this point, no. So we might as well draw out what is left here. Alright, which buildings now lack workers? Where are my, my vacancies? The engine, one of the district center. You're paused, that's fine. You're paused, you're paused, you're paused. Lumber mill is paused. Both of the inventors are empty. Probably pause one of these lumberjack flags, honestly. And the wood workshop is empty. Oh, that's the resin one. That's fine. Yeah, you seem relatively full up. We can pause you. Maybe pause both of you for a bit. And, as we go through logs, we'll just pull from the rubble, since I have logs in the rubble. And then, if this is going to cap out on medicine, which it seems like it will, we can pause this again, once this is full. Are we gathering dandelions at all? I think we are not gathering dandelions at all. Yeah, this doesn't reach the dandelions. So... you will have to pause. And I guess we'll unpause here. Food, very much not a problem, which is delightful. Mushrooms. Okay, we have, in fact, burned through all of the mushrooms, so that's good. So I don't need to worry about mushroom storage. They are, in fact, eating the mushrooms. This is now emptied, so these three can pause. And then we will have workers. Yeah, cool. Everything's cool. 4 days, and this is enough. This is probably enough. Okay. Okay, cool. That feels good. I think we need something like 200 water for 4 days, and we definitely have that. So as long as this sustains, and it looks like it's going to for the remaining days. Yeah, this will totally sustain. Wow. 19-day drought. Feels good. Feels good. Everything came together. And mushrooms are go. So we've hit a general well-being of 12, which is fantastic. So what's the next food item? Because that's the real trick, right? The real trick is more well-being via quality eating. Long living from fine dining. Where shall the dining be? Where shall more farming? Probably here? Although I'd like to have it in range of the existing farmhouses. That would be nice. But this is, like, relatively easy to access. We could build, you know, a bridge across here, and that'd be fine. And is green, which is the other important part. Oh, yeah, they're pulling the logs from the rubble. Fantastic job, beavers. Love what you're doing with the place. You're doing great. Just really great work. These beavers definitely on the job. Which is good. Because somebody's got to be. Doing great work, friends. Keep it going. Excuse me? Why red? Isn't... Oh, really? I built it backwards? Heck. Miserable. Alright, we'll try again. I thought I was even paying attention, too. I guess I was not paying sufficient attention. No storage for gears, logs, or metal blocks. I do have a metal block storage. Right? No, I don't. Logs, I have a log storage, but not the other things. So I could make, like, a little gears and metal block storage for the purposes of being able to pull stuff out of the rubble. Hey, Vera. Yeah, beaver time. How's it going? Feels like it's been a while. Maybe as long as I've been on vacation. Okay, so where are gears stored? Gears are stored. Gears don't exist. Gears are fake. Gears? Gears? Gears are stored in the small warehouse. Great. How was GDQ? GDQ was a lot of fun. Already asleep during my last couple of streams. That's totally fair. I understand. Good thing weekends exist. Yeah, GDQ was a lot of fun. I was a little worried because it had been forever since the last time I'd been to a GDQ, right? The entirety of the pandemic. So there was a concern that it wouldn't be, like, everything I remembered. It wouldn't be as fun as the previous ones. It would lose something. You know, people that I were expecting to see wouldn't be there, etc., etc. But it ended up being okay. I think these are also metal blocks, right? If I wanted to store metal blocks, I could do that here. No. None of these things are metal blocks, it turns out. I guess metal blocks are stored in piles? Alright, small pile for metal blocks. Yeah, there it is. Your weekend starts Monday? Oh, well then. Thanks for being awake on a not weekend. And then the haulers can be active recovering these rubble piles. Get active, haulers. Work starts tomorrow at 5. Ah, okay. So you've got a decent chunk of time available. That's good. We really do have to get these inventors running, though. I'm going to need quite a lot of science if I'm going to build a number cruncher. I'm out of logs? Disaster. I didn't realize. Also, haulers are busy. Yep. That makes sense. Man, can I just steal another hauler? Now we have 4 unemployments. 1 here. 1 here. Where have we stolen people from? Oh, the inventors. Of course. Of course. Of course. How are the beavers doing? They're pulling through. Hard mode is actually hard. We're coming off of an 18-day or 19-day drought here. So this has been a bit of a struggle. But, you know, they're doing it. They're making it happen. Our industrious little friends are pulling through. They've managed to actually keep themselves supplied across 19 days of drought, which I am very impressed by. I didn't think this was going to go as well as it did, but it went, well as it did. Yeah, good call. I do have water here. Thirstier than I expected. I'm going to need to refill that water at some point. Instantly up to a large number of logs. Wow. I guess the haulers finally did the thing with the hauling. What are these lies? No storage space available. Okay, there's actually... No, there's totally storage space available. Don't lie to me. Can we pull these out, hauler friends? Can you come handle this problem? Kind of. The answer is maybe. I maybe need a bigger log storage. It might be time to store more logs. A lot of error messages don't clear until a beaver attempts the tasks again. Oh, that's probably true. That seems like a reasonable guess. But also, they're not lying. Like, there really isn't storage space for logs. I should make a bigger log pile. Just to clear out some of the rubble and feel like I'm not, you know, abandoning resources. Alright, this is full of all the things, so this can pause, which means maybe we can get one of our inventors working. Is that too much to ask for? It's probably too much to ask for. What do we have going right now? There are 4 buildings lacking workers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, well, sure. Not that I need this going until this has a thing. If I'm paying attention, I can unpause this when the mushrooms are ready to go. But then I have to be paying attention, which is a little hard. How do we store mushrooms? Not that I have mushrooms to store. Is it in the warehouse? It is, in fact, in the warehouse. Oh, I have a mushroom storage. Wow. Wow. Really? When did I do this? How did I make this decision? Baffling. Well, I'm happy for me. I'm so glad that this is how this has worked out. Good news, everybody. We have mushroom storage. Since when? Alright, what's the next thing I'm making? Probably fermented soybeans. Because these rations business seem difficult to acquire. What do I need to make rations? I need a food factory. A factory of foods. And then I also need to have things planted. Corn. Corn! I don't think we are planting corn anywhere. I think right now I have exactly cassava and kohlrabies. So I don't have soybeans anywhere. I don't have canola anywhere. I don't have corn anywhere. I don't have eggplant anywhere. How do these things become foods? There's eggplant rations. There's corn rations. Hydroponic garden makes algae, but then I can put the algae into rations. With the appropriate oils. I need canola oil to make that work. Which the oil press exists for that reason. And the fermenter can turn soybeans into soybean food, again with canola oil. So soybeans need canola oil. Eggplants and algae need canola oil. Corn just needs corn. And coffee just needs coffee. So corn and coffee are going to be the easiest next steps, because then I don't have to also make canola. Okay, that's good to know. think y'all can both pause again. We'll get the inventors running for a bit. Well, there goes the inventors, since we need water in the near future. Five empty slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's 4? Should be 4 now. No, 5 because also the other engine. But yeah, the water is returned. Fantastic news. Full up on resin, so maybe we can pause this also until I intend to make like actual treated planks for whatever purpose. 1 inventor running. Great. I'm just going to explicitly pause this so it doesn't notify me that it's an empty building, and I can always come back to it when I need it. And people can have their water now, so that's good. So we did need to pump some extra water during that drought, which means we're going to need more water storage. Okay. Damn, this sucker is big, and also I don't have that kind of science. And then I kind of want to blow all of these up and make one big central, like, big tank. Instead of a bunch of small tanks. Small tanks are awkward. Blow these up. Blow this up. And now there's water in the rubble, which is fascinating. It's not how I That's good to know, though, that the stored water doesn't disappear. What is the footprint on Big Tank? I can't find out until I have the science for it. How distressing. And I don't want to spend my science until I can buy a number cruncher. Because I need to... 1,500, holy crap. It's going to be a bit. I have put an extra person in the hauling post. When did I do that? I don't think that's what I wanted. Two buildings lack workers, which should be the engines. And looks like that is accurate. The water still hasn't reached the flow over point here. Middle of day 2 and the water still isn't flowing over. That's kind of funny. We're going to have so much water. This is going to be beautiful. I guess I could knock this down a little bit and then water will start coming out of there. But that is not a lot of water flow. And as long as there is water here, that doesn't matter. So I'll wait for this to continue to fill up. I am not relying on the water out here, really. In fact, I can probably delete these water wheels if I wanted. Not that I will. It doesn't do me any good much one way or the other. Isn't connected to any district center by paths. You're right. You're right. It's a work in progress. That bit is a thing I am working on. Only one person here? Uh-oh. What happened? I see. An adult died, and the new child has not quite aged into the position yet. Well, someday. Someday soon, hopefully. But in the meantime, that's not actually the biggest of deal, because we really don't have any building projects I'm in the middle of. Right? What are you up to? Are you helping to haul stuff? I guess he does help to haul stuff when there's nothing else to build. So that's cool. Yeah, look at them go! They're hauling! Fantastic. Good job, District Center workers. Proud of you. This finally got cleaned up. Excellent. Did I build levees by the water source to make sure I don't lose water over there? By the water source. I mean, there's levees across here, and there's dams up here, and there's levees over here. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with yes, but you tell me. If that answers your question. I think the answer is yes. There are also dams. Water is flowing over the edge right next to the water source. Oh! I didn't know that I could lose water that way. Yeah, it sure does look like it is flowing out of the screen. Off of these holes. Oh. Oh, fascinating. Okay. I guess the answer is no. Alright, that's a thing I'm going to have to resolve. The squares directly above the sources? Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe, yeah. No, that looks like it's still flowing inward, not outward. Above the sources, I think, is fine. But the sides are, in fact, a problem. Alright, what's my range here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that's being built. And this is very far away. They should be able to build it from this level, but they have to get there first. And there is not currently a way to get there. Just straight up no way to get there. I guess they can swim across? Obviously, this game is about dams. You must ask what the benefits are. I am growing crops in water. But also, if there is no water here, then the area around this, like, this green area becomes not green. And you can no longer farm there. Like, you see how this area is all gray? That's because there's not enough water nearby. And also, beavers drink water. Turns out animals require water to live. They can't just swim across, like, deep water, can they? Can we build hydropower? Yeah, actually. I have water wheels. What map is this? Canyon? I want to say it's Canyon. Yeah, I made water wheels, but it turns out that's unreliable when your droughts outnumber your non-droughts. So I can't... So, we eventually have built engines, which run without water. And also, apparently, without beavers, which is good to know. Oh, here it comes already. Terrible news. 8 days of non-drought, followed by another 18 days of drought, I guess. Really a disaster. Okay, I don't actually know if this works the way I want it to. That's not enough platform, it turns out. I could do a triple platform. That doesn't help. I need a double platform. And I don't want to spend the science for it. So we'll just build 2 platforms. And I don't know if they can just swim across here to build these levees. But maybe they can. Okay, well that explains how fast we lost the stuff on that first layer. Because that really disappeared very quickly. And also why we're not getting water into this area at all. Because it's all just going out here. Terrible. I'm gonna finish this one. And we need to get people back into the district center, actually. Sorry, inventors. I cannot afford you. Could make the Hanging Gardens of Babylon? Maybe. I think there is a Gardens Wonder. Not Wonder, what are they called? Monuments. The Tifis here would not have said monument. But the other ones are, like, really nature-focused and plants and stuff. Beaveron? Make a wonder? That requires so many resources? And also science that I don't have to spare? Like, I really do not have that kind of science to spare. But yes, a wonder would be nice. Then people would be happy. Again, more happy. This is so far away. No wonder it's not getting built. Poor beavers. It's such a long way to walk in order to accomplish any goals. Also, I think we need more lumber again. Oh, yeah. We're just straight up out of logs. Rest in peace, logs. Can y'all go pick these up, please? Maybe do a gather? Pick up them logs? Looks like we cleared out all of the rubble piles over here, which is... that feels very good. some goals were in fact accomplished. Alright, this levee cleared up. That's good. It's going to be a while before we build those. If this even works. And I don't know that it will. Do I have mushrooms yet? I totally have mushrooms. You need to unpause also. Make me some mushrooms. Make me better mushrooms. Tastier mushrooms. Are we... How are we feeling about these mushrooms? Starting to drop out. Alright, so that's about the right timing then. Cool. The incredibly long walk over here to build the one platform. I ask much of you, my beavers. Did you get enough sleep? You got not really enough sleep, no. Since you ask. Not actually enough sleep. Well, that's a shame. Maybe tomorrow night. We'll see if they can swim across the deep water and build these. Because I think this is close enough to the ladder, to the stairs, assuming they can swim across. Oh, good. We have water flowing through here again. And it only took completely opening this triple floodgate. Let's keep this water moving, I think. Oh, yeah, that's bad. That is a little early for that to be happening. Alright, alright, alright. Keep on dumping. Alright, the stairs are built. This is still too far from a district. Terrible. Give me more information. Yeah, this doesn't look like it has increased the range across the water. Does that do anything? Probably doesn't. It's not connected to anything, is it? Alright, it's looking like they cannot swim across deep water. So I'm going to have to rethink how we are handling the levees over here. I'm probably going to make them go around this side. Because that's going to be less resource intensive, I think, to make happen. Even though it's a bit of a longer walk. Plus I have trees over there. Is that good? I'm not sure that's good. I mean, trees are harvestable. But having trees to harvest is not the problem. There are many other things that are the problem. I don't like this. All right. So I guess that means a terrible place for blueberry. Oh, I can just path that. Fantastic. I don't need a market for demolition. I can just build over it. That's good news. And then we'll have to get up to this level, I think. This is very far away. What a mess. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How close does it need to be? Never did figure this out. Or maybe I figured it out at one point and then completely forgot afterwards. It's also plausible. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 away from the path. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So to here should be enough path to build that. Method of local harvest, production of construction supplies. Like, I could turn it into a new district. And send a beaver over to that other district with no place to live. And drought started. Close the floodgates! Stop pulling water. If you're going to pull water, you can pull it from here. And I have room for one more worker somewhere, which I guess is going to be here. Because we don't need people in the engines. How much does it cost to build the district thing? District crossing. I don't have the science for a district crossing. So I can't turn it into its own district. Unless I can just... Well, this doesn't cost anything to build? Interesting. The district crossing is expensive, but the district center is not. I guess I could, once these stairs are built, and once these stairs are built, because I don't want to do local plank production. That sounds like BS. Build a district center here. Send over exactly 2 beavers. Have one of them chop wood and the other build these levees. Could try that. It dried out and died. It is literally soaked in water. But okay. Alright, so let's try this. Yeah, this just gets placed. Neat. And that can reach here, at least. So we send over exactly 2 beavers. Both from the district center. They will build these things. Why are you at District 2? Please do not be at District 2. Oh, you're working here. No, that's fine. Oh, I need to mark stuff for cutting. Yes. And they are just going to be unhappy until this is done. But at least everybody else, the people who work at the district center won't have to walk all the way out there. Is that better? I'm not actually sure that this is better. Because I'm not making this sustainable. This is not going to be any kind of long-term anything. This dude is already starving. Poor choices. Can I send you back to the other district? Is there a way to send a specific beaver from one district to another? That is unclear to me. It doesn't look like I have a way of choosing who gets sent. They'll just get sent. And this beaver is straight up going to die of hunger and or thirst. Well, maybe not die, but like, they are working extremely slowly due to unmet needs. So that's not particularly helpful either. Pretty sure this was a more wasteful way of doing it. Maybe not more wasteful, but like, I don't know that this improved anything. Put you in, coach? Alright. Formal. The next baby that is spawned out of this breeding pod will be you. You can be a real beaver, not just a dead beaver. An eventually dead beaver, but not an immediately dead beaver. I'm pretty sure at this point you don't have a beaver, Garrett. It has certainly been a while. I'm just sending you two back. Keep yourself alive. No available workers in district. That's accurate. This also doesn't need to finish immediately, since the water has lowered enough that it doesn't really make a difference at the moment. We are naming things eventually. Baby was born. One more beaver. Two and a half in-game days, Nwashat. You got nothing better to do with your time? Fascinating. Make me some more science. Science is relevant to my interests. Which two buildings? Oh, these two buildings lack workers. Okay. Wonder which two beavers I just sent. They look like alive and healthy beavers, so that's good. Right, this is already looking more manageable. What if I have you both chop down trees until we have the requisite 16 logs in this district? And then you both build the thing. It seems like it might work out better. This is a shorter drought, like 15 days. 16 days instead of 19. Easy. Not even a problem. Not even remotely a problem. 16-day drought, I'm ready. Come at me. The Russians are coming to steal our precious fluid resources. Drought is a Russian plot now? I mean, I'm not saying Russian plots don't exist, but this is a little far-fetched. Does Farfetch'd have an evolution these days? There has been so many different versions of Pokemon. We have this info from someone high up in Air Force Command. Somebody's been watching Top Gun. What's the anthropomorphized animal equivalent of a Russian? It's a bear. It's absolutely a bear. Russians are bears. Big, mad, drunk grizzlies. There's your stereotype for the day. Government assigned persona. Alright, go eat. Go eat, drink, and live. Send over 2 more people in the morning. Government assigned for Sono would be a great name for your punk rock band. It would be a good name for your punk rock. Punk rock bank? That's probably a typo, but now I'm really intrigued. How punk can a bank be? It is morning. Let us send over 2 more beavers. Fuck the establishment at 6.8% interest on long-term savings accounts. Yeah, I feel like capitalism isn't super punk. Banks are kind of as the system as you get. $16, right? That'll do. 6 there, 7 there, 2 in hand. Yeah, this is good. That should be enough logs to do the thing. And then we can send them home again. This was a bit of a project. But at least they're not hauling logs all the way from over here, I guess. So maybe this was a better way of handling it. Just send over laborers for the day, and then they go home at the end of the day. Words don't actually mean anything nowadays, so banks can be punk? Sure. I mean, if that's how you want to run it, sure. Yeah, send y'all home. Send over some new beavers in the morning. Man, good spotting on the necessity of these levies, by the way. I was not aware that this was going to be a problem. And I appreciate my attention being drawn to the fact that it was, in fact, a problem. These can both pause. I think that means we can open up another inventor, because we don't need people at either of the engines. And then there are 4 vacancies in all of the districts. 2 vacancies in this district. Perfect. Let's bring in 2 people to finish this off, and then they can be sent home and be happy. And just straight up pause this workplace also, once this thing is built. There we go. Turned off, exactly. Empty out the district, Go home, kids. You did great. Appreciate all your hard work. You're doing wonderful. And maybe eventually I build a district crossing and supply this place with more resources, but for now, this is all I need. So that's looking good. I was going to build another tank here in the center. Forgot to do it. I guess now is the time. Now seems as good a time as any. Also, we're going to need more gears. We're not going... I mean, we're eventually going to need more gears. But not immediately. Two vacancies, huh? Fantastic. How are we on logs? Good? Good on logs? Doing okay? Things are looking pretty good so far, actually. I think the rooftop terrace needs a shrub. Let us provide you with a shrub. I could even put a roof on the rooftop terrace. Or near the rooftop terrace, I suppose. Then I'm spending science on roofs? Whatever, this is fine. Good. Sounds like a bait. What, a roof? Nah, man. Beavers love roofs. I don't know if you know this about beavers. No good is selected. That's accurate. Obtain goods from other warehouses. I think obtain goods from other warehouses will obtain goods from warehouses on accept. My beavers are happier than ever. It's because I built that roof. That's why. I guess y'all need something to do, huh? Is it time for another building project? Maybe we'll build roofs on top of the houses? So that everybody can enjoy the power of roofs? I feel like not that many people are currently enjoying the power of roofs. But maybe they will over time. Maybe this is good. Maybe this is sufficient roof. Fun 0 of 24. Is it? Where is fun? Oh yeah. Multiple instances of 0 of 24 in fun. Beavers are not allowed to have fun. Beavers are allowed to be productive. How's this doing? I've seen better. We're gonna need to drop a little bit more water down here in a bit, but I am fully loaded on water. This is we're well supplied here. Not at all concerned. Knowledge at 0. That's true. I haven't built any libraries yet. That's a thing I could build. Libraries? Is that how you get... Where is knowledge here? Books. Oh, I have to print books. I currently don't have any books printed. That might be a better next step for my happiness for people. And I want to spend my science on this food factory until I can buy a number cruncher, because putting people in these inventors is just like such a waste of beaver power, when I could instead have machines do it for me. Oh no, a beaver's injured. But the injury is recovering fast because of the power of medicine. Yeah, recovery. Get recovered. Once I hit 500 science, I can start building number crunchers. And then... I don't know. Something else. Something to make my beavers happier with their lot in life. Something to improve things for my beavers. We're all about improvements here in Eternia. Making people more happy, more productive, more everything, just more. Numbers go up. We're all about numbers going up here at Eternia. Eternia Incorporated? Eternia Enterprises, for the alliteration. We're all about numbers going up here at Eternia Enterprises. Including drought numbers, apparently. We'll find out how happy you are soon. How happy are you, actually? Oh, you're the happiest. You're literally as happy as it's possible to be in my colony. Well, I guess you could have wet fur. You could have gone swimming. But other than that, you're literally as happy as it's possible to be. Congratulations. We had somebody else got born. Here we go. You. And Garrett, did you redeem Garrett, or did you just complain? There's an order to things here. There is a way in which things are supposed to work. Hold on. Okay. This is fine. This other thing is also fine. This other thing is also fine. Everything's fine. Great. Great. Cool. Things are great. I did it. I hit 500. Now I can build a robot to do science for me. Not enough science points. Oh, I lied. I need 1,500, not 500. That is a very different number. Unfortunate. Well, what can I do to prepare for a glorious future in which I can one day spend science again? Probably corn? Can harvest some corn? Turn all of this blueberry into corn, maybe? Okay, I don't want to make another farmhouse, because I barely have the beavers to sustain the farmhouses as is. Also, we're really not going through this kohlrabi business, are we? Like, kohlrabi storage is fully loaded, so I'm not concerned there. Cassava storage also pretty fully loaded, so I'm not concerned there either. But I don't know if this will suffer if I reduce the number of workers in the farmhouse in order to load up another inventor so that I can hit that 1500 mark. 1500, that's so much science. That's really a lot of science. Alright, we'll try it. We'll see if it ends up being bad. Zolgin! Working hard at the inventor. Doing a science. Thanks, buddy. Produce them science. Hide description? No, man. Descriptions are cool. You need to gather some berries again soon. Hit 25 briefly. And there it is. There it is. Immediately, Sivolul dies of old age. Alright. That worked about the way I expected it to. Ah, yes. Carrying the cassavas to the fermenter. Maybe we should store the cassavas near the fermenter? I think we will continue to store the cassavas in the farmhouse. I could move the fermenter. That's a thought. Now that I have power that is not tied to the water, I could supply power anywhere. Maybe. You're not doing anything? Go invent things. Leave one person in the district center, just for the sake of having something there. You're full up. That's great. Fill this with berries. The problem with this setup is I kind of have to micromanage it, but it is free as opposed to costing some number of logs. Logs also free? Maybe I would rather have a system here that I didn't need to micromanage. That might be better for me. How are berries stored? Berries are stored in the pile? In the warehouse? Berries are stored in warehouses. Alright, if I wanted to build a warehouse, medium warehouse. How big is medium warehouse? A size. It is a warehouse of size. Can store 200. Do I need to store 200 berries, you think? Maybe I'm okay with just storing like 60 berries. Maybe just 60 berries. It feels like a good number of berries to store.
Varugari.
That looks like 60 berries, so that's great. They'll figure it out. I trust them. Got people working the engines again. That's unnecessary. That's what haulers are for. If you're going to be idle, just become a hauler. Two vacancies. All right, the correct number of vacancies. You know what? As long as I'm making storage for things, let's also make dandelion storage. Dandelions? Where are you, dandelions? Can have the dandelions be not at the gatherer flag. It sounds delightful. And potentially useful. Uh-oh. Yeah, plenty of water. This is not even remotely a problem. Cool. Completely handled this drought. Oh, that feels really good. Even on hard mode, things are going to be okay. Things will be okay. That's good enough. Definitely good enough to last the rest of the drought. I guess if I wanted, I could make all of these floodgates and just have a path behind them. I hadn't thought about that. Just the one floodgate feels like enough floodgate. Store some extra wood, why not? Yeah, so I guess I'm just sitting around and sustaining until we have enough science for a number cruncher. That's not too bad. I did kind of want to set up a corn farm. So maybe I figure out what that looks like. Tell you what it doesn't look like. It doesn't, I don't think, looks like anything that these farmhouses are going to be able to reach, which is a little bit of a bummer. I mean, I guess I could set it up here. And then we have a little bit of berries over here, but that's maybe fine. Maybe a little bit of berries is enough berries. I don't know how much corn I need, to be honest. Like, corn... 1 corn becomes 5 rations? That's pretty good, honestly. That feels like we need not that much corn farming to sustain corn for people. How, what are the stats on corn here? 1 every 5 days. Which means a single patch of corn produces a ration a day. And I don't think beavers need a corn a day. I think beavers need a corn every, like, 2 to 3 days to sustain happiness. Is my understanding of how that meter works. Right? Like, this takes a while to drop down. And I think, actually, we're full up on mushrooms globally, right? And mushrooms are kind of in and out, in and out. So maybe it's even less than that. Maybe it's like a corn every 4 or 5 days is enough corn for a full colony of beavers. So like 5 patches of corn, maybe enough corn. I'd know more about corn if I went to corn school. That's probably true. I don't know that much about corn. So like if this was corn, that would be a sustainable amount of corn to keep everybody happy? Just like this 1 row of corn? Like six a day? Which means a corn ration every, like, 3rd day? Which feels like enough corn. I'm going to believe that's enough corn. I think the plan was delete all of these things anyway. And then we'll have some corn planted. Once the rubble is picked up and moved. Or maybe this will just auto-move the rubble, which I'm okay with too. And that... Is that actually enough corn to keep everybody happy? It's fascinating. I guess if I'm keeping my numbers low, it might be enough corn to keep everybody happy. But I think that is in fact the plan. And then once I hit my requisite number of science, the next unlock can be whatever this thing is. Food factory is 300. That's not too bad. Maybe I just do that now and push off the number cruncher a little bit longer so as to give everybody the happiness that is corn. I just want everybody to be happy. I just want everybody to have corn. Note those two are related statements, but they are not the same statement. I think I want number crunchers fast more than I want corn. I think I want my science first, and then I'll want corn afterwards. Okay, but we're prepared for the eventuality when I can process corn. And until then... I mean... there'll just be loose corn lying around. Which, you know, that's fine also. It's not a big deal. There can just be corn sometimes, you know? Sometimes there's corn, and that's fine. It's not like corn is a problem. Right? I feel like if corn were a problem, I'd know about it. Nobody has informed me of the corn problem. So I'm just going to continue assuming it doesn't exist. Alright, anybody in chat with strong feelings about corn one way or the other? Like, I'm not actually a giant fan of corn. I'm aware that corn byproducts are in literally everything. But, like, corn on its own is not a thing I'm super into. Like, corn in a salad is kind of, eh. Corn on the cob, not my favorite. Good accessory, but it's not a vegetable, it's a grain. Sure. I mean, cornbread exists. That tells me it's a grain. Right? You love it on grill? Okay. I see some sad faces in chat. I'm not sure what that means. Probably negative opinions on corn. Did corn kill your parents or something? You're the Cornhuskers? Does that mean you like corn or hate corn? You're pro. That's a lot of pros. Is that like very much in favor of corn or like in favor of being in favor of corn? How many layers deep does this go? Anti-maize propaganda. Driving through Nebraska was the only time you saw corn-based ethanol gas additive advertisements on the pump. Wow. Yeah, corn is in literally everything. And that might actually be a problem, but I don't know that it is. I do know that there's a lot of HFCS, which is kind of actually a problem. Like, because of the corn subsidies, it is cheaper to buy corn sugar than actual sugar. So you get corn sugar in things, even though that's probably not ideal for your body. 10 cobs of corn for $1.50 on the side of the road. Okay. Have bad... That's probably bowels? Corn bad for it? I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, I think if corn punished me for eating it, I would probably never eat corn. But as is, it's not like I'm prioritizing corn in any way, right? Corn just doesn't factor very much into my life. I don't spend a lot of time on corn. Except for, like, right now, I have spent the last 10 minutes thinking about corn and nothing else. But other than that, I don't usually focus that much on corn. Corn's nothing you'd ever eat out of season. When is corn season? I didn't even know corn season was a thing. I assumed it was just like it grew when everything grows. Like there's a growing season. Isn't that corn season? Spring until late fall. Is that any different from the normal crops growing season? Don't crops normally grow through spring until late fall? Like, that sounds... Maybe not late fall. Early harvest July corn is delicious. Early fall for most crops. Okay, so the corn growing season is longer than the other growing seasons, but otherwise sounds like it mostly coincides with growing season. Alright, so we shouldn't be losing water this time, right? Looks like the water is all flowing in the correct direction. Takes longer to grow corn than rice or potatoes. That is a thing that RimWorld has taught me, yes. I don't know how accurately that reflects relative, like, real life grow patterns for corn. We should do something about this. This can pause. That's already paused. Great. Good news. Love it. This can unpause? These can unpause also. Cool. One in the district center, one in the inventors. Let's get my water back. Fill me up. Ah, ha, 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 okay. So this finally filled up, which means that the water is working the way I wanted the water to work. That's fantastic news. So now we have water actually flowing out, which is great. How many water sources is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm trying to have 8 water sources flow out through like 5 tiles. Maybe this drops down to 2.5. So it kind of matches. I don't know if 2.5 is lower than a dam. I think 2.5 might be lower than a dam. But that gives it another tile to flow through. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it'll flow faster here because it's less wide. There's eating corn and then there's other corn. Yeah, okay, that makes some amount of sense. I mean, I know, like I said, I know corn is in everything. So not every corn is destined to be corn on the cob for, you know, your uncle's 4th of July barbecue. Is 1,200 a good amount of water storage? Probably is. Put corn on your pizza some of the time? I don't know about that. See, this is the thing that I like. I'm not the biggest fan of corn. I will never willingly or deliberately put corn on a topping as a topping on anything. Like, corn just doesn't do anything for me. Is the storage full? Then it's not enough storage. Fair enough. A reasonable outlook. Wonder what the footprint is on this number cruncher once I eventually make it. I'm 500 away from crunching numbers. 400. 400 away from crunching numbers. Can't wait to crunch numbers. Corn on baked potatoes? Oh my god! 6 days! This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna need to make more pumps! I'm gonna need to make more pumps in order to actually store enough water during, like, not droughts. During regular water time. Christ. Alright, I don't know what that third thing is, Formal. I can't read Cyrillic. If you were to transliterate that to English, what would that look like? You're building the platform for those pumps on the dam? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I could build another pump here relatively easily. This is like a 3, and a 2. Behind the dam rather than in front. What do you mean behind the dam? Oh, like here? Crab salad with rice, peas, and corn. Okay. Sure, that seems not unreasonable to me. Like, I know corn goes in a lot of things, especially salads. But it's always been kind of a take it or leave it thing for me. It's not something that I'm, like, looking for. Corn is a staple of Tex-Mex. I don't know how I feel about Tex-Mex. Like, I'm a fan of steak, but I don't know where that fits in the Tex-Mex continuum. Succotash? That's not a real thing. You're making things up again. That's a swear word, isn't it? Feel the same way about pepperoni? Sure. Pepperoni's fairly generic as far as meats go. Take my array of pump in storage and extend it left over the dam. Yeah, kinda. I don't know that I necessarily need that much more storage, but I will probably need another pump if this is realistically how things are going to continue. Like, I don't think we're going to fill this by the next 2 days. Maybe we will. Big if true. We might fill it. I don't know how much water I'm actually pulling in. Pepperoni's too greasy. Oh, is that the complaint? Like, it tastes good, but has other things that you don't want. Buffalo chicken and mac and cheese. Damn. I don't know that I would like meats in my mac and cheese. I guess, like, people generally add bacon to mac and cheese, and that's probably good. People add bacon to everything, though. Like, people are going real gung-ho with bacon. Like, not to say that bacon is bad, but, like, bacon is maybe overrated. Says the Jew. It's not like I eat that much bacon. Strong dislike of shitty sausage. Sure. Like, sausage also, I don't have enough of to really say, oh, this is good sausage, this is bad sausage. Really, any pork product falls into that category. I do like me some turkey sausage. Chicken apple sausage. Like, that stuff's good. Prosciutto's the bomb. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on your prosciutto, thanks. You can keep it. All yours, Devinock. I guess this is gonna barely fill. Which is honestly all I wanted from it. If this fills, then I don't need to worry too much about adding another pump. You could go vegetarian if it wasn't for cured meat and canned fish. Canned fish specifically. Cured meat. I think I know what curing meat entails, but which meats are cured meats? Like, are we talking about jerky? You mentioned sausage. Is sausage a cured meat? If your choices were going vegetarian or dying, your life's been long enough. All right. Respect a man to sticks to his guns. Beef jerky is just a cow raisin. Yeah. I mean, sure. Like, I don't know why you would try to describe it that way, but it's not wrong. It may be inaccurate, but it's not wrong. There's a visual component? I don't know that I want this visual component. I don't know that I need this visual in my life. Salami, pancetta. That's a lot of meats. Which one is pancetta? Wait, isn't pancetta a cheese? These are a lot of Italian words. Why are all of the cured meats Italian? Pancetta is a meat? What am I thinking of? What is the... Isn't that a cheese? You were taught in an Italian kitchen? That's fair. Stick with what you know, I guess. Or... Not like stick with what you know, but like... What you know is always going to frame how you present your knowledge. Still just waiting for the thing to come up. They're very much managing themselves right now. This is working out. This is sustainable for at least a little bit. We'll see how big this next drought is. "14 days, easy peasy." Yeah, you can go all the way up. And all the stuff that needs power continues to run. It looks like my mangrove orchard here is continuously keeping people in mangroves, right? Like, this looks overall pretty good. Ah, we dipped a little bit on mushrooms. So there is somebody in this colony that does not have mushroom happiness right now. And it may be because they are baby. But it might also be... Is it because they are baby? It's because they are baby. Mushrooms have never been real for as long as this baby has been alive. But soon, maybe. Very soon. So funny that you should post that, Devinock, because the person who originated that is somebody that I am friends with, like, personally. There was a discussion, they ended up posting it to Twitter. They got interviewed for some article about it. But yeah, I know the guy who started that whole thing. How did we get to sandwiches? Who was talking about? Oh, for hot dogs. Got it. Got it. I see how we got here. I understand now. Open-faced sandwiches are a total meme. Yeah, open-faced sandwiches are kind of the worst. Bruschetta might be what I was confused with pancetta. That might be. Bruschetta is a really fancy way of saying cheese on toast, for the record. I agree with that statement. Bruschetta is not cheese? What is bruschetta? Man, nothing is a cheese. What was I thinking of? Bruschetta is tomato? I don't think I was thinking of a thing that's just tomato on toast. Is that what bruschetta is? Just tomato on toast? There's more to it than just tomatoes, right? Bruschetta? It's like pico de gallo is, you know, tomatoes, but also other things. Tomato and cheese on toast. Isn't that caprese? Which one's caprese, then? Panna cotta, which is also not cheese, but is maybe closer. Damn it! Nothing is a cheese! I mean, like, if I order caprese, I know what I'm getting. But in what way is that different from bruschetta? Or whatever other things may have been named. What even is cheese? It's a mystery. Scientists just don't know. Gorgonzola is a cheese. Okay. I agree with you. But that also is pretty far from pancetta. Bruschetta is grilled bread with a light brushing of olive oil and garlic. Okay, so bruschetta is like a specific dish. It's not like a sauce. Caprese doesn't need the bread while bruschetta does. Okay. Learning things. Educational stream today. Speaking of stream, it is unfortunately about time for me to end stream, since I do have to drive people up to San Francisco. I feel like I should play CSF. Yeah, right? We somehow turned this into a food stream. Somebody brought up corn, and that was it. It was over. That's like 30 minutes of talking about foods. Really just does completely take over the conversation, even when I'm not playing Cook Serve Anything. Is Cook Serve Forever in a better place? Like, have they made any major changes? I feel like I don't want to play CSF until there's like a major update to it. There's been some minor updates, quality of life, like stuff related to you know, moving things around on screen and changing focus maybe a little bit, and like there were a lot of complaints that, you know, the text was covering up the food and the food looked so good. Why would you cover up the food with the text? So they moved some stuff around and stuff like that. But I feel like there needs to be major changes, like actual functionality or more dishes or more variety or something in CSF before I go back to it. But we could maybe go back to CSD for some future stream. Like, it would be good to at least finish off the story in CSD. It seems like a good idea to do at some point. Anyway, that is neither here nor there, and is also unrelated to beavers and beaver business. Alright, so, for the future, beavers. I'm waiting to 1500 for the number cruncher, and then we are going to package up corn, and, that's going to be my next step. Number crunchers, then corn. That is the list of things that I'm doing.